let's make a bunch of baby clothes. This pattern doesn't come with English instructions. Oh, I can't with these baby clothes.
This video is sponsored by Squarespace.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's time to do some sewing, and I'm gonna do some sewing for baby. I am just so excited to make little things. My hands are itching to do some sewing again. I can't really sew for myself at the moment. There isn't really any point. I am heavily pregnant. And I will only be the shape that I currently am for a very short time. So I thought, you know what, let's make some things for baby. Also, I think there is just something so lovely about making clothes for your child. So that is what I was hoping to get started on today. So a while back I made an order of a bunch of really cute baby fabrics. So let me show them to you. I have, first of all, this lovely green with little geese, which is adorable. This forest animal fabric. Oh my gosh, the cutest. But for this I will have to find a pattern that works with woven fabrics, because I find that most of them require jersey knits or just some type of stretch. I have this beige with little foxes. And then of course I have my blue waffle fabric. And I did mention when I made this little suit in my kind of like gender reveal video, when I made this little romper, that I would really like to make a jacket to go with it, and I think this waffle material will just go perfectly with that. So that is something I definitely want to do today, is make a little jacket out of this adorable waffle baby blue material. I have a pattern that I hope will work for this, because it is made for stretch fabrics again. Yeah, we'll just see. I have no idea how big baby's gonna be yet, so we'll have to see anyway if anything I make fits at all. But this is a pattern that comes with a bunch of different elements, and one of them is a jacket, and I would love to make that without the hood, because hoods on baby clothing very impractical, and it looks to be a fairly basic pattern. So depending on how much of this fabric I have left, snail and rainbow garden fabric, I would love to make a matching hat as well, and that way he would have like this outdoor ensemble with a romper, a jacket and a hat. So I think that would be really cute, and I think I'm gonna start with that. But then I would also really like to make this pattern right here, which is a set of overalls, I guess. A sleeveless romper, but that looks adorable as well. And I think either the fox fabric or the goose fabric would be perfect for that. But definitely starting with the jacket. Last time I used, well, to make this thing, I used a pattern from the same company. This is Burda. It's a lot of extra work because they don't add seam allowance. So I did already go ahead and cut out my pattern pieces. I traced my pattern pieces, cut them out in the right size, which is just the smallest size they offer at the moment, which should be a bit too big for a newborn. So hopefully he can grow into this, or if he comes out a little bit larger, then hopefully he will fit. But I'm gonna have to trace them again onto this so that I can add the seam allowance and then cut out my fabric and everything. Without further ado, let's make a bunch of baby clothes. Let's get started. So far, it's a really straightforward process. I have 2 of the jackets. One's gonna be the lining, one's gonna be the outer fabric. Next up, I need to attach this little bit of neckband, I guess. So I just need to figure out how to do that. That's in place of the hood. So let's see these instructions here. So I am to fold this over, right sides together, close up the sides, and then attach it to one of the neck edges. I'm using the other fabric, by the way, because this needs to be stretchy, and it's gonna be a set anyway, so he's probably gonna wear it with the other items made of this fabric anyway. So okay, let me just sew that up and I'll come back and attach it to the neckline. Looks like this. And now let me attach it to this one then. Right sides together. That's what it says. Oh, I can't with these baby clothes. It's so adorable. Look how tiny this is. Oh. Okay, so I am to stretch this out when I apply it. So maybe I'll just try to find the center first. Should be right around here. And then, oh wow, that's gonna have to stretch a lot. Okay, that's unexpected. Maybe if I just try to stretch it as far as it'll go. I don't get what I'm supposed to do here. I think I'm just gonna disregard the whole stretch thing and just make a much bigger one. So let's see, how much bigger do I need this to be? Does it need to be straight up twice as big, twice as long? I think twice as long is still too short, actually. You know what, let's do twice as long. And I'll see how far I get with that. Oh, was I maybe supposed to cut this on the fold? Maybe. That would explain things. Okay, okay. Let's try again.
Taking a little break from sewing here to tell you a little bit about today's sponsor, because this video is very kindly sponsored by Squarespace. Squarespace is an online platform that is the perfect place to go if you're ever looking to build yourself a website or a web shop, an e-portfolio, a blog, any type of online presence. Even if you have no experience at all with website building, Squarespace is a fantastic place to start. They offer countless starting templates in all different kinds of website categories that are fully finished websites that you can start from, then go in and customize everything. And the way that their website builder works, or their fluid engine, backend, is super visual. So you're literally working on what the finished website is going to look like. It's a drag and drop system, so you can take different sections of your website, move them wherever you want them to be. Once again, customize everything, add sections, and add all of the functionalities you need. They have lots of different functionalities. You could have forms on your website. Again, a web shop, selling through your website is an option, taking appointments, and they have really powerful analytics as well. Definitely worth checking out and playing around with for a bit. So you can head to squarespace.com, start your free trial, and once you're ready to launch your website, you can go to squarespace.com/Loepsie and use code Loepsie to get 10% off of your first purchase of a website or domain. Huge thank you to Squarespace once again for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to sewing.
Now that makes a lot more sense. Yeah, it's gonna be just this cute little edge along the top once it's done. So I am now to attach these right sides together, since this one's already inside out. Just gonna push this in. Oh, I think this is gonna be so cute. Okay, so I think I am to leave a little bit of room in one of the seams just so that I can flip the whole thing inside out. But everything else I just need to attach together, all of the seams along the outside. So that will be the neck seam, the front seams, and the bottom seam. And I'm gonna leave some space here so that I can flip it inside out and then move on to finishing. Can't believe how quickly this went. This was actually a really simple project, which is good, means I can maybe make more of them. The jacket is almost done. The last thing it needs are some buttons, and I think instead of snaps for this I'm gonna do just regular buttons, and I found a bunch of these coconut buttons that I think would be really cute. Kind of trying to decide which side to use, but I think I'm gonna use the outside because the inside has stripes and that's just too much pattern mixing to my taste. So I'm gonna go ahead, let my machine make some buttonholes, install these, and then my jacket will be finished. I can't handle this. It's so cute. Oh, and it's gonna look so good combined with this. Like, is this not just an adorable outfit? I definitely also want to try and make the hat. I do have the pattern cut out here somewhere. It's super simple. Do of this pattern piece, and then you tie a knot in the top, and that's it. So that should be super quick and simple to do. So let's do it, and we'll have one complete outfit finished. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to see him in this. Oh, it's gonna be so cute. I absolutely love this little jacket. It came out a little bit thicker than maybe it's supposed to be because of the fabric that I use, but I think this is gonna make it perfect as an outerwear, like outdoor item. It really is gonna be nice and warm, and I just absolutely love it in this whole set with the little romper and the hat, which is just adorable. This is the cutest thing, just the cutest. And I just love how quick baby clothes are to whip up. So let's do one more. I'm gonna make the other overalls, I guess. And I'm fairly sure I want to use the goose fabric for that, because I am just absolutely in love with this. I think it's adorable. So let me once again grab my pattern pieces. I feel like this is going to be a bit more complicated because there's more pattern pieces. It's a more complicated shape, and it has push buttons in the legs. We'll see. We'll see. Let's just start by transferring my pattern pieces. Okay, all my pieces are cut out, and it took me forever to try to figure out what to do here because the instructions are super unclear, but I think I've got it. I have this piece which needs to go, we're basically gonna make buttons along the bottom, and it needs to be lined, so, or like faced at least. So there are some facings here. This pattern doesn't come with English instructions, so suddenly all of the sewing lingo, I have to use one of the other languages that is on here. Like it has Dutch, German, French, trying to make sense of it, but words like facing are completely different, of course, in different languages. So it's just very confusing, but I think I need to attach the facing to the inner legs of this bit right here. And that's just gonna make for a bit of a sturdier base for those snap buttons to go onto. Also, this fabric is rolling like crazy. Oh, I really don't like working with stretch fabrics, or like jersey knits are the worst, but unfortunately that's just what baby clothes are made of. I do understand because they're practical and comfortable, but to sew them, it's just horrible. Oh, while I'm sitting here complaining, I really dislike that this pattern doesn't add the seam allowances and I have to do that myself. Besides just complicating the process, it makes it so much harder to have any precision at all in the sewing, because I don't know how to add exactly 1.5 centimeters with everywhere with all of the nuances that a pattern has, because like a millimeter of difference in a sewing pattern could be the difference between 1 or 2 sizes, like full clothing sizes, and just make a huge difference in the end result. It's really important to get all of those tiny little details, but how do you just add 1.5 centimeters to an outline, like curved outlines, and make sure that that distance is consistent? I don't know how to do it. So the way I do it is I trace it onto my fabric, then cut around it, just kind of in what feels like 1.5 centimeters, and then I match up those stitching lines, or like those lines that I drew. But it takes so much time and makes things so much more complicated. When the pattern has the seam allowance already added, I can just line up the sides, line up the sides of the fabric, and I know that they're gonna be the same distance on both pattern pieces. Okay, enough complaining. My facing is on, so I'm just gonna sew this up, and then I think I'm supposed to flip it inside out and sew it on again. Took some figuring out, but I have button plackets, essentially. This one looks a bit messy, but zigzag stitches, stretchy fabric, Anyway, it's time for the next step, which is little feetsies. The foot pieces here. I think it goes on like this. It's so unclear. I wish this came with clearer instructions. It wasn't that bad with the jacket because it was such a simple pattern, but with this, I am just confused all the time. But this makes sense to me because the foot then sits in the pointier bit, because I believe this is the top of the foot, and then this bit is the bottom of the foot, like this round pattern piece. So it should look a little something like this once it's sewn on. Okay, the front and back are attached. It looks really cute. Little feetsies are on, just the cutest. So next up, I need to add some facings to the tops here where there's going to be more buttons. I think just a bit of reinforcement. So I have these slightly bigger ones that I think need to go on the front part. And then I have some slightly smaller ones that need to go on the back. So I'm just gonna, other way around. Yeah, that way. I'm just gonna attach those, and then the last step will be to bind off these edges, and I need to add some buttons here, some snap buttons to the inner legs, and that's gonna be this little romper done. Ta-da! Oh, isn't this just the cutest? This was much harder to sew, and it came out much messier than the little jackets and the hat, mostly than the jacket. The jacket was fine. I think that's honestly the neatest baby thing I've sewn so far. For fabrics like this, it's really hard to go without a serger or an overlock machine. It just ends up much messier. That just allows for a much cleaner finish. Now I had to do everything with zigzag stitches and it just doesn't work as well. It results in stretching along the sides, uneven stitches. But you know what? He's only going to be able to wear it for a few weeks. So does it really matter that much? I don't think so. I do think it's absolutely adorable. I still just adore this fabric. I love that it has the little feet attached and I can't wait to see him in this. It's gonna be so cute. And the outfit that we have here, that is quite enough for this week. So I really hope you enjoyed this, guys. I surely did. I'm gonna hang this up in his room. It's gonna be so cute. So thank you so much for joining me here, guys. I'm sorry about my voice. I got sick in the middle of this. That's why it took so long for me to finish these. So that's part of pregnancy. Your immune system is non-existent. If you did enjoy, don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see all of the other stuff I'll be up to in the upcoming months and beyond, of course. There's another video here that I think you might also enjoy. You can go watch next. Thank you so much for being here once again, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye, guys!